Good afternoon. I'm Trista Keaton, and you're watching The Source. For our story today, we wanted to provide a detailed update on the Little 5 races and money raised for United Way and other organizations. Last week, we talked with Anna Sherrill about the philanthropy aspects of the race and the explanations of a point system. Delta Upsilon came first within the point system with Alpha Chi Omega in second and Alpha Phi in third. Here are the points explained.
Each have partners for Little 5 this year, and all of the events itself have a benefit or a cause greater than Little 5.
Yeah.
But the reason why the teams participate, to answer your question, is they get points for everything that they do. So anybody who's participating in the race wants to also participate in the philanthropic events. And we've kind of managed to switch the system a little bit so that 55% of points for Little 5 to win the week long is philanthropic events. So the race itself is only 5%.
Yeah.
And so it's like you want to be involved in the philanthropy events if you want to be a competitor in Little 5 overall.
Yeah.
It's historically been Greek affiliated, where a lot of chapters participate in this. And I would love to call it out and say it definitely has to do with the access and resource, right? So the bikes themselves, the riders are using, are paid for either by themselves or by their organization. And so it does inhibit for other people to be able to get involved. And I know that we are working towards making it more accessible in years to come for any rider. But all that to say is I think that my goal in the philanthropic events, none of them are restricted to people that are just racing. So anybody who wanted to create a team for any of these events could still have a fighting chance at pulling their weight in the week of Little 5 competition. And so that's last year we had a team that participated in Supermarket Sweep just because they were really passionate about the cause, but didn't do any of the other events throughout the week. And that was absolutely acceptable. And also it's to accessibility in the fact that a lot of what we're doing has to do with fundraising. And so a lot of the chapters and organizations that we work with have philanthropic funds set aside to be able to donate to causes like this. But that's kind of a goal of mine, is how can we make this an all campus-wide event? This year we have 16 teams registered as of right now, and each team represents a much larger group of students. So I would say probably at least 50% of students are engaged in Little 5 this year in the direct philanthropic events.
Had exceptional turnout to the events held prior to Little 5 races. Pi Beta Phi had the highest recorded points for Supermarket Sweep, and Kappa Alpha Theta had the most liters of blood donated. Everyone's efforts in volunteer work giving to charity and raising this money had a finished result of $18,902 for United Way and $6,000 for Supermarket Sweep. We now move into the War Room with PAC student and researcher Jake Wood.
Thanks, Trista, and welcome to the War Room. For our first story, a Rwandan-backed militant group operating in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo has levied a ban on alcohol production in the territories under its control. The March 23rd movement, which controls a significant amount of territory in the DRC's eastern North Kivu province, announced on Monday, April 22nd, that they were imposing a ban on the production and sale of a local gin in areas under their control. The militant group stated that the ban was motivated by, quote, health concerns. The gin, which is referred to under various names, is an important element of the local culture and economy. This ban is the first instance of the group's attempts to legislate in its occupied territories, which it has controlled since last year with the assistance of Rwandan troops. The move might be an attempt to demonstrate their ability to govern as they challenge the Congolese state, which they label as corrupt. For our next story, the World Bank has reported that the price of oil may exceed $100 per barrel if tensions in the Middle East continue to rise. After a period of a 40% decrease in the price of oil, the World Bank warns that escalating conflict may disrupt this trend. In their most recent report, they state, quote, a moderate conflict-related supply disruption could raise the average Brent price this year to $92 a barrel. A more severe disruption could see oil prices surpass $100 a barrel, raising global inflation in 2024 by nearly 1 percentage point. They also stated that the food and fertilizer prices would also increase as a result. The recent escalation of tensions between Iran and Israel have the possibility of disrupting trade in the Hormuz Strait, which separates Iran from Oman and the UAE. It is said that around 1/5 of natural gas exports make their way through this region. That's all for the War Room, and thanks for watching The Source. Be sure to follow us on all socials at D3TV to stay updated on the real news.